Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach has a mixed reputation. Some people really love the new atmosphere and fresh gameplay, and some people dislike the new theme and miss the old gameplay with the old games. Like it or not, FNAF Security Breach did something new for the series that the majority enjoyed. Even before Security Breach was released, the developers at Stillwell had thoughts for a new DLC. DLCs for video games usually is more gameplay material, or more gameplay, for an already existing game. An example of a DLC is Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Village is a full game on its own, but you can also purchase DLCs. You can buy a DLC to claim additional weapons, or you could buy the Shadows of Rose DLC, with an additional gameplay story you can finish within a few hours. A few months after Security Breach came out, May 30th, 2022, a poster for a new DLC came out with the name Ruin, with 2023 plastered over it in the color of purple. In the poster, there's a little girl with blonde ponytails with her back against the camera, facing the gold-plated Glamrock Freddy statue you see at the start of Security Breach in front of the entrance, destroyed. To the left you also see Glamrock Chica again, even more withered than last time. Above to the left and right there's monitors showing off Gregory, who we play as in the official game, with text saying, "Help me." It's been about a year since we got that teaser, and we've had no news since. It looks like Stillwell learned from their mistakes not giving early release dates, so there hopefully won't be any more delays, which is one of the things Security Breach really suffered from. But if that's so, the game is coming out this year, and I, as well as many others, have expectations and hopes for this new piece of content heading our way. So today, I've come back to mark my top 10 expectations for the Ruin DLC. Number 10. Vanny. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach has a huge variety of content and cutscenes of our favorite animatronic and human characters, as well as adding a bunch of new characters, but one of them have stood out more important than the others. Vanny, though not showing up until Security Breach as an entity, has had a backstory built up all the way back from Five Nights at Freddy's Special Delivery and Help Wanted, through emails, and as you playing as her in Help Wanted, getting possessed at the end of the game by Glitch Trap, setting her up as the next antagonist. This interesting build-up sadly didn't lead to much regarding her in the main game, Security Breach. Even though she was commercialized in every Security Breach title, she was only in the game about 10 minutes total, in the 4.5-hour gameplay experience. If the Afton ending is the canon ending, we really got a cliffhanger of what happened to Vanny, so to not see what happens next to this important character in the series would be very disappointing. Number 9. Music Man and DJ Music Man. Music Man is a foot-sized spider-like animatronic, first introduced in Pizzeria Simulator, and is an animatronic in Ultimate Custom Night. He is sensitive to music, and you will hear his cymbals as he gets agitated. Side note, this is his mechanic in Ultimate Custom Night. This animatronic shows up again in Security Breach. His animatronic shell withered and melted after the fire at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place at the end of Pizzeria Simulator. In Security Breach, he chases you through the vents at the location, and if he catches you, you die. Later in the game, you find out that they have rebranded Music Man, and he is now titled DJ Music Man. This time, he's at the size of a megalodon, now missing one pair of his legs, only having 6. He also is wearing a headset, going with his DJ theme. His appearance was a welcome sight to see in the eyes of fans. It was fresh, and his section was an intense scene, one of the best parts of Security Breach in my opinion. The music was really fitting, as the stressful game played out. The flashing lights also fitting the atmosphere, as well as watching Music Man crawl through the different tubes and holes throughout the location, trying to catch you. Even though Music Man's appearance was one of the best, sadly, it didn't last for too long. And after you choose whatever ending you feel for the game, you get no updates, and again, if the Afton ending is the canon one, and the Pizzaplex burns to the ground, I really want to see the aftermath. And also, what happened to the little guy? Did he survive getting burned down twice? I hope we find out. Number 8. Sun and Moon. One of the first new characters we get to meet in Security Breach is Sun and Moon. After we've been chased by Chica for a good while, you get the daycare pass. Freddy tells you that you can meet him outside the daycare after getting a new badge, which is on the inside. After, you take a slide down into the daycare, landing in a ball pit. After walking a few steps, you see another animatronic with colors of yellow, red, and orange. Its head shaped as a sun, but strangely its face reminding you of a moon. You would soon find out why, as you take the security badge, but the lights go out, being the one rule the sun animatronic told you not to break. Sun falls behind the table into the darkness, making unnatural noises of what sounds like pain. Silence hits you for a second, right before two hands rise up from the table by the same animatronic while it slowly lifts itself up, showing you its moon-like face once again without the sun head spikes. Freddy tells you need to turn on some generators located in the play structures to turn the light back on. You try to find all the generators, but following you is the moon animatronic always on the way, and before you know it, either you're dead or you've found the last generator and you've been thrown out of the daycare. Sun and Moon are completely new animatronics, only in Security Breach. They have a simple but clever concept, and they are also terrifying with great voice acting done by Kellen Goff. Sun and Moon are one of my favorite characters, and I hope we see a new sighting of this new animatronic in Ruin, and Security Breach not being the last time we see this character. Number 7. The Blob. In the Afton ending, in Security Breach, there's one character that stands out, having a face of a previous animatronic, Funtime Freddy, attached to a body of molten parts put together, also from previous animatronics. Having huge tentacles, this huge beast seems to have a dislike to Burntrap, and even captures him alive at the end of the game. But where did the Blob come from? It's a mystery. Why does it look like that? Why does it dislike Afton so much? There are a lot of theories of how and why, but they all go off very little information. And so, if this is the only time we're going to see this huge creation, well, that would be disappointing regarding how huge of an impact it made on the story, and how little we know about it. I hope in the new DLC we get more information on this mysterious creature, and some answers to my and the FNAF community's questions. Number 6. Afton. William Afton is a huge part of this entire game series, not to mention the story and the lore of all these games, him dying all the way back from the first few years of the timeline, after he brutally murdered countless of children in the past that went on to possess the animatronics and take revenge. He died and came back again and again, all the way back to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. At the end of Pizzeria Simulator, fans thought this was the end of Afton's storyline for good, with a perfect speech of Henry as he and the pizza place burned down to the ground. But somehow, he came back in Security Breach, which was a story choice that came with mixed reputation. And so, my thoughts are, if they were going to kill Afton again, it better be with a bang, instead of the lackluster end in Security Breach. I hope he survived, and there's a good chance he did, since we never see him die, we just see him get captured. And so, I hope in Ruin he gets killed this time, with an ending even better than in Pizzeria Simulator, which can be a really hard task, but I definitely think it's possible. Number 5. Gregory. In Security Breach, our main character is a fresh one who we've never seen before. I think. His name is Gregory. We play as this kid the entire game, and this little guy has been one of the things which have been given very positive feedback by fans. Gregory has a very interesting personality. He's just a kid who's afraid of the dark.
It's pretty dark in there.
There is nothing to be scared of.
And is very stubborn. But at the same time, he is very brave and smart. This gives him a lot of personality and makes him likable. Over the course of Security Breach's release, theories have been filling up platforms on who this kid is and why is he inside Freddy Fazbear? Do we know this kid from before? Is he Patient 46 from the CDs? I hope we get more of Gregory in the DLC. He's one of the few human characters in this series with another unanswered backstory. And I'm happy to say he's in the teaser, so he should absolutely show up at some point. Number 4. Freddy. One of the key mechanics in Security Breach is your best friend through the entire game, Glamrock Freddy. He's with you the entire adventure, always trying to help you, going so far to help you mangle his animatronic friends for upgrades. You're always proud to be Freddy's little superstar as you beat the game. In the Afton ending, Gregory and Freddy escapes the Pizzaplex, but what happened afterwards? An important component in the game is Freddy always has to recharge. You get reminded about this the entire gameplay of Security Breach, and outside, there's no charging station, so what happens to him? Does he just die? Does he get captured as well as Gregory, of what looks like to be so in the Ruin teaser? It would be strange for him to just disappear, so I really hope we get an update on the matter, and him coming back. Number 3. Who is Patient 46? One of the few lore secrets in Security Breach is the CDs surrounded the location. There are 16 CDs in total. To use them, you will need the Monty Claus upgrade and the Chica voice box to open the 2 gates that will lead you to a room with a secret hidden door. Opening the door, you will find a familiar room with a CD player, thus giving the CDs use. Listening to the CDs, you find out about 2 characters, both talking to a therapist. One is Vanessa and the other is a secret character, which we call Patient 46. All the CDs are total to about 24 minutes of recording, and throughout the different CDs, you get strange clues and find out about multiple of their therapists disappearing, one of them even being brutally murdered by what they described as machinery. And for some reason, they tend to disappear after talking to Patient 46. So, who is this? Well, multiple theorists have had their separate take, and so there are different conclusions. And if we don't find out in the future DLC, I at least hope we get a few steps closer. Number 2. Why is Mike's room here? In the same room you listen to the various CDs, there are also very familiar furniture and props. A small round table with an old-fashioned TV next to another small round table with an orange table lamp. Over the lamp is a clock shaped as a sun. This is the same room we are in after completing a night in sister location, or at least a recreation, even down to the popcorn and the exotic butters we get after finishing the 6th night. This is not the same room, however, which we can tell by the wallpaper. There is also the same TV show we got teased with before Security Breach came out, Freddy and Friends on Tour. Till this day, I've yet to see a theory making logical sense about this room. MatPat is the best known theorist in this series, and he didn't even dare to touch it. And I feel like that's fair, but I hope to God this DLC will in some way lead us in the right direction. Because with what we have now, it's borderline impossible to find something out of it. But I believe in all the theorists in this community, and I think we can soon get an answer. Number 1. Bonnie. At the very first teaser of Security Breach, the fans noticed that Bonnie wasn't in the main band. Which isn't too new, after all. Except for Bon Bon, Bonnie was pretty much gone in sister location too. But the difference is, when we got Security Breach, there are tons of implications for this rabbit to have been at the location in the past. Bonnie Bowl, which had a closed stage, Freddy's multiple voice lines.
There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex. Not anymore. I do not come up here anymore. I miss him.
And of course, the collected 3 messages, obviously telling us he was here before, and there's no doubt in that. But where is he then? Well, again, in one of the messages titled Missing, you find out that he was last seen entering Monty Golf, depicting maybe Monty did something. Maybe he wanted to be the new bass player, which can be an option, thanks to reading that the staff quickly moved him over to bass player after Bonnie went out of commission in the understudy message. If this is it, where is he now? Is he broken apart in some garbage pile? Is he the metal endo used for Burn Trap? It would be awesome to see a cutscene or something similar to this incident. And if he was still alive, it would be awesome to see him again. Or even if he wasn't. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Tell me in the comment section because I'm always open for feedback. And what do you want to see in Ruin? Be sure to tell me. But that's been Top 10 Expectations for Ruin. My name is BananaBot, and until next time, stay bananas.